Hello, darlings. So, Miss Charlotte Tilbury has graced us with not just one face palette, but two for the holiday season. And you may be wondering, are they worth it? Which one should I get for my skin tone? If you have any of those questions floating around in your head, don't worry, I have you covered. I'm going to show you a side-by-side comparison of these two beautiful face palettes for the upcoming holiday season. So stick around. If you're curious about these palettes, please say hi in the comments down below so I know you're here. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're a new viewer or subscriber, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome back. All right, let's get this party started. Okay, darlings, let's delve into the world of Miss Charlotte Tilbury with these two face palettes. I did buy both because I wanted to give you guys a comparison on my very fair skin about the color stories to help you pick out the best color story for you. The dark one, I'm a little bit nervous on how that's going to go with my skin tone, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. And I just bought both palettes so that you guys can make the best decision for your skin tone of what will work best for you. So let's get into it. Here are the palettes. I will put the price up on the screen, but we have two color options. This one is the Pretty Glowing Beauty. And this is supposed to be a 5-minute face in a pan. But look at this packaging, so pretty. And just feels luxurious in your hands. And the next one is Dreamy Bronzed Beauty. If you're new to this channel, you may not know that I'm always going for that bronze golden goddess look that I don't have naturally. But I'm hoping that makeup products will give me that look one day. Hopefully one day soon. So this is the Dreamy Bronzed Beauty. So Pretty Glowing Beauty, we have an eye brightener, an eye enhancer, an eye smoke, and then we have the rest for the face. Number 4 is a face powder. Number 5 is a bronzer. Number 6 is the matte blush. And then there's a glow blush. So that is the lighter color story. And next we have the deeper one that's going to give me that bronzy golden goddess look. I hope. I mean, I have my doubts, but I'm hopeful. One day soon. So again, we have an eye bright. Be helpful I kept it open. This is the eye brightener. Then we have the eye enhancer, the smoke. Then we have the face powder, the bronzer, and then the matte blush, and then the glow blush. So this is option number 2. So what I think makes most sense is for me to swatch these for you, and then I will kind of do a side-by-side comparison so you can see which color story would be best for you. So on one side, I will be Pretty Glowing Beauty, and on the other side, I will be the Dreamed Bronzed Beauty. So I will have 2 looks going. We'll see how that goes. I'm not going out after this, so I think it's okay that I do this in the privacy of my own home, but let's see how this goes. Okay, so I have swatched these, and if you're new to my channel, you may not know, I have short arms, and with short arms come shorter hands. So it's kind of gone a little bit, it's kind of moved from the hand to the arm because I couldn't get everything on my hand, but bear with me. These are the swatches. So on this side, we have the lighter Pretty Glowing Beauty. So that's the lighter palette. And then on this side, we have the Dreamy Bronzed Beauty. So very different color stories. I'm interested to see how these are going to play out, but I'm excited because they look like very nice quality and very fun shades. So let's get this on my face. Okay, so first we're going to start with bronzer, and I'm taking my Nikki LaRose N15 brush because I think, yeah, that'll fit perfectly. So on this side, I will do the lighter one, and then on this side, I will do the darker one. That golden goddess look is going to be on my left side. Again, I'm hopeful that one day I will achieve that goal. Okay, so right off the bat, it is pigmented. But very pretty. For something this pigmented, I probably would go in with a bigger brush, but because the pan is kind of small, I wanted to use this to get the product on my face, and then I will buff with a larger brush. Taking this one, just going to buff it out a little bit. That's very pretty. It is on the more orangey side, so definitely a warmer bronzer. Okay, so just taking a little bit more. So I would say it's very powdery, but it is pigmented and it's laying on the skin nicely. If you like a more cool tone bronzer, I'm not sure that you're going to love this. I think the formula is beautiful, and I like the shade, I do. But if you don't like a very warm bronzer, the Pretty Glowing Beauty palette may not be the one for you if the bronzer is that important to you. If you're buying it really for the eyeshadows and the blushes and the finishing powder, and the bronzer is not the most important thing to you, then you might be okay. But it is a warm toned bronzer, so just be mindful of that. And just buffing this out again. Okay, so what do we think of the bronzer shade? But we're going to bronze up the other side of my face and see how this goes. Oh boy, very lightly, just laying that on the skin. So this is, it's a little dark. Okay. It's a little dark. On your fair skin gal right here, it's a little dark. It's laying on the skin nicely, it's just a little deep. I think either of these palettes, in all honesty, if you like a more cool tone bronzer, you're probably not going to be crazy about the bronzers in these palettes. But again, if you're not buying it solely for the bronzer, if you're buying it more for the eyeshadows, you should be okay. But I just want you to keep that in mind. And I'm just buffing this out. I mean, I can get away with this. I can make this work. But if I had to choose a bronzer, it would be this side. But I think I could make it work. Okay, so what do we think of this side-by-side comparison? Is this giving me the golden goddess vibes that I'm striving for? It's a little orangey. This side maybe has a better shot, but I don't think I've achieved it yet. But I think it's laying beautifully on the skin. The formula is beautiful. It's just a matter of your skin tone and your preference. I think I can get away with either. This just requires more work. So now let's move into the blushes. I'm going to come back to my final thoughts on these bronzers in a few minutes, but let's move on to blushes. So first we're going to go into number 6, the matte blush on the Pretty Glowing Beauty. I don't know, I can't remember these names. Pretty Glowing Beauty. And I'm going to use this shade right here first, and then I'll use this as a topper. Okay, it's powdery. Oh, that's a beautiful shade. That's very pretty. Ooh, I like that. Very Pretty Glowing Beauty. I like it. I think it's sitting on the skin very nicely. And it's pairing nicely with the bronzer too. I like that. Very easy to apply, not patchy at all, kind of like an airbrushed look to the skin. Very, very pretty. I like this. Okay, I approve. And now moving on to the matte blush in the Golden Goddess palette, I'm going to call it. But the technical name is the Dreamy Bronzed Beauty. And I'm going to put that into the back of my hand a little bit, just because it's a darker shade. We don't want to look too bronzy, too glowy. Okay. And I'm just buffing this out with my hand a little bit. So now that I have these on my cheeks, they kind of look similar to me. They don't look that different. This is definitely lighter, but the undertone, the look of it, to me it looks pretty similar. I don't think there's that drastic of a difference. What do you think? They're both very pretty. It's weird because on a swatch comparison, they're not the same. But to me, they look identical. This is just a little bit more pigmented and a little bit more peachy, but they're almost the same. So the blush is not the deciding factor between these palettes. If you could pull off one, you could pull off both. So that's really weird. And just to show you, it's the blush on the outer corner here. They're different in the pan, but they're almost the same on the cheek. It's so weird. All right, so now we're going to try the other blush, the glowy blushes, and see if that makes a difference. Okay, so let's mix it up. Let's go with the darker one first. And I'm just going to apply that. Ooh, okay, that's, oh boy. Okay, that's very pigmented. I should have gone in with a lighter hand. But it's pretty. That's definitely deep. I'm just buffing this out with my hand. So that kind of peachy undertone is there. And just buffing it out a little bit. I like this. It's just a little bit deep for my skin tone, but definitely gives a nice glow. Let's try the other side. And again, this is a blush, but I'm kind of using it as a blush topper / highlight just because I have the other blush on there. Oh, that's pretty. I like that a little bit more. I mean, in all honesty, I'm expecting to like the lighter tone palette better for my skin tone, but I'm trying to go into this with no assumptions. So definitely peachier undertone with that glow blush. And this is more of a pink, like baby girl pink. So what do we think? What do you like better? I'm kind of leaning towards this side. And that's nice also for an underbrow highlight effect. I'll do this on the other side too, just to compare. So yeah, definitely much deeper. And this is a blush, so I'm not saying you'd use it for that purpose, but you could in the right circumstance. I feel like this shade right here, the glowy blush on the deeper palette, would be a beautiful eyeshadow shade if you wanted to do like a monochromatic look. But what do we think? Okay, so now I'm going to do the face powder. And to me, they look almost identical. The lighter palette has more of a pink undertone to it. Let's see. Use this like as a finishing powder. Let me know in the comments down below if you like Charlotte Tilbury's holiday releases. I haven't bought that many of them. I think I bought the eyeshadow palette that came out in 2023. And it was nice. It just wasn't my absolute favorite eyeshadow formula from her. Okay, so that is the finishing powder. It's beautiful. This is the one obviously from the lighter one. I'm going to throw on the other one now. So this has a little bit more of a peachy undertone to it. But it's Charlotte Tilbury, so of course the formula is going to be beautiful on the powders. Kind of hard to tell the difference, but I like both of them. Did you guys pick up the ones that she released in the heart shape? I didn't, and then I kicked myself for it. I didn't pick it up. But let me know if you have it, if you like it. I always hear amazing things. Maybe one day she'll release it again. And if she does, I'll be all over that. So this is the deeper finishing powder on this side. Do you see a difference? I maybe prefer the finishing powder on this side just because it's a little bit of a deeper undertone, so it covers a little bit more and just gives a more airbrushed look. But they're almost identical. Like I wouldn't pick one palette over the other just for the finishing powder, unless that's the most important thing to you. But in looking at them, they're very similar, but they're equally beautiful. Okay, so let's move on to the eyeshadow. Okay, darlings, my eyeshadow primer is on. This is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the shade Eden. So we're all prepped and ready to go. Okay, so it's very simple. We're going to do the Brighten, the Enhance, and the Smoke, the way that Miss Tilbury has laid it out for us. Keep picking up the wrong palette because to me, this outside cover should be on the darker one, on my Bronze Golden Goddess one, but it's not. It's on the lighter one, so I keep picking up the wrong palette. So going in with the lighter one, let's brighten these eyes. Ooh, okay, that's pretty. So I'm just doing this on the inner corner and a little bit in the middle. But what do we think of this shade? That's pretty. Okay, and now we're going to enhance my eyes by taking this middle shade right here and doing that in the outer corner and in the crease. So the more I'm using this palette, the more I'm thinking that this is just a very light wash of color in every respect. Between the bronzer, the blush, the glowy blush, the eyeshadow, it's just a very light wash of like a sheer baby pink. There's really not a lot of dimension to this. I'm not saying it's not pretty, I'm just saying that it's very light. So that is the enhanced shade. It's kind of hard to tell the difference between the two in all honesty, as far as the tone. Obviously the Brighten one has shimmer in it, but the shade is very similar. Now we're going to take the number 3 and smoke it out. This is not even dark enough to do an eyeliner effect. I mean, I could do a little bit on the bottom maybe. I'm actually going to go back in with the other shades on top of that one. And maybe with the Brighten, I'm going to use my finger just to get a little bit more payoff. Yeah, definitely better with the finger. Okay, so what do we think? It's pretty. It's just very neutral. Okay, so this is the completed look. I will take the smoky shade and just run it along the bottom a little bit. And I will put eyeliner and mascara at the end off camera. But that's pretty under the eye. So maybe if I was going to do this again, I would use the smoke one just on the bottom lash line underneath. And I poked myself in the eye for the first time in the video. Yay for me. I kind of like the smoke shade under the lower lash line more than I do on the eye. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually take the bronzer and put that into the, yeah, that's the dimension that you need right there. Take the bronzer and put that in. And even a little bit of the cheek, number 6, the matte blush. I'm kind of taking this and combining them to give it a little bit of dimension. So that's pretty with the bronzer, but you really should be able to utilize the eyeshadow. Okay, so this is Pretty Glowing Beauty on this side. And now that I put the bronzer into the crease and I put the smoke shade under the eye, I do like it a lot better. That's pretty, but it's a little bit light. The thing is that I love Charlotte Tilbury's products so much. I love her regular eyeshadow formula, her blushes, so many things from her line. I just think that the eyeshadow formula in the palette, it's a little underwhelming. It's a little bit too light. Again, I do love this bronzer shade in the eye, but the eyeshadow formula, it's a little bit too light for me. So we're going to put on the other side and compare. I'm a little bit more hopeful about this side because the colors are a little bit deeper, but let's pop it on and see. So I'm a little bit more excited to try this one out because it is deeper. So actually I'm going to take the number 2 shade first and put that kind of all over the lid. Okay, so that definitely has a better color payoff right off the bat. That's pretty. Oh, I like this one. This is pretty. And then I'm going to take the brighten shade and go into the inner corner just with my finger a little bit. Okay, what's nice about this eyeshadow formula, I'm not getting a ton of fallout, even though we have a lot of glitter going on. I also think this would be a good formula to apply with, you know, a wet brush or wet finger to get it to stick a little bit more densely. I like that, that's pretty. And then I'm going to take the smoke shade and I'm going to apply a little bit on the lower lash line. That's pretty, okay. I'm liking this color story more with the eyeshadows for sure. That's pretty. And I'm just going to take this and go a little bit more in the outer corner. Okay, that's definitely pretty. I like this. Okay, so definitely a different opinion about this color story with the eyeshadows. I think this is lovely. This side is just a little bit too light, but if you build it up with the bronzer, it is workable. But this off the bat, I really like. That's pretty for fall. So what do we think? This is my Dreamy Bronze Golden Goddess one. This is the Dreamy Bronzed Beauty palette side. But what do we think of the completed look? Actually, I have to add mascara and a little bit of eyeliner on top. Before I do that, what do we think of the eyeshadow? I think both are doable. I just think this is too light. This is beautiful. I love this. Let me throw on some mascara and some eyeliner. So I went in and applied a little bit of liquid liner just on the top lash line, and now we're going to apply mascara. So I did get a sample with my order. I did put this order through Charlotte Tilbury directly, and this is the Exagger Eyes Volume Mascara, and on the package it says, "The bigger the better, darling." Just imagine her saying that. So, darling, we will try this mascara together, because I've never tried it. Isn't it darling? Okay, I'm done now. But in my head, I'm not. So this is the little sample that I got. This is the wand. I really want to say darling again, but I won't. Let me know in the comments down below if you like this mascara. And that's a nice bottom lash mascara because of the shape of it. Very nice. And this is the completed eye look. What do we think? So now that the look is completed on both sides, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are. I will say this, they're not as different as I thought they would be, which I think is a good thing because I think that these shades do apply to a lot of skin tones. I think that the finishing powders leave a beautiful airbrush effect on the skin. I think you couldn't go wrong with either one. But if I'm looking at it side to side, they are very similar. The biggest differences I'm seeing are the bronzers and the eyeshadow shades. So I prefer the bronzer on the Pretty Glowing Beauty side. I think it's more subtle. It's not catching on to my dryness as much just because it's a lighter shade. I like the bronzer on this side better. So the Pretty Glowing Beauty shade in the bronzer I prefer better, just on my skin tone. This one's it's pulling a little bit orange for my taste. But again, that's on my skin tone. On yours, it might be different. It might be the perfect bronzer for you. I'm just going based off of my skin tone. But the formula is very nice. So like I said before, the blushes are very similar. I don't think you could tell much of a difference if you're looking straight on my skin tone. I don't think you could see much of a difference. On the camera and also in my mirror in front of me, I'm not seeing much of a difference. But if you see a difference, let me know in the comments down below. To me, the blush is not the determining factor. It's the eyeshadow and the bronzer. But the eyeshadow, this is very neutral, and I was only able to get it to the level of pigment that I wanted once I added the bronzer and the matte blush kind of combination in the crease there. So if you love a very sheer, light eyeshadow, you may love it. I personally prefer this side much more. I think this is a gorgeous color story for the eyeshadow. I think it has a lot of dimension, a lot of depth. I think it's beautiful for the fall. I love this darker shade right here. The shimmer shade has a little bit more of an impact. I love it on the lower lash line. So to me, the eyeshadow formula on my Golden Goddess Dream Bronzed Beauty side is winning. Not that there's a contest, but if I had to recommend one, I think I would choose this side for the eyeshadow. But let me know what you think. If I had to pick between either palette for the eyeshadow formula, I would pick this side. If you're trying to decide which one you would like to purchase for this upcoming Christmas and holiday season, I would go with the Dreamy Bronzed Beauty one. I think that the eyeshadow is gorgeous. The two blushes are beautiful. The finishing powder is great. And the bronzer, you can make it work. You just have to be careful in how you apply it. But I think this hands down to me is the winner out of this unofficial contest between the two. This is lovely. It's just very sheer. So if you like a sheer palette, you may love this. But I think most people would find this to be the better one for their skin tone. And if you're spending this amount of money on a face palette, you want to make sure that it's impactful and that you can use it for a lot of different purposes. I just think that this one's a little bit more useful and a little bit more of a strong impact with the color payoff. So if I had to choose between the two, this is pretty, but I would go with the Dream Bronzed Beauty one. Hey darling, so I hope you found this helpful. I hope you found this fun. Let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in either of these palettes, which color story you're interested in. Let me know if you have any questions, all that good stuff. Let's get a conversation going down in the comments below. I love it when you guys leave me comments. I love to know what you think. And I just love talking about all things makeup and beauty. So let's get that conversation going in the comments section. Thank you so much for being here. I know we all lead very busy lives, so the fact that you chose to spend any part of your day with me, I appreciate it. I really appreciate your time, and thank you so much. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. On this channel, we talk about all the latest in makeup and beauty. I have a growing community here of friends and fellow makeup lovers. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thank you so much for your time. I wish you a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.